Welcome to Squatch-D, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
And good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to Squatch-D for today's date, April 11th, 2025. I'm your host, your guide, the Squatch Detective, Steve Kulls, along with my co-host right down there, Mr. Chris Bennett. Hello, Chris.
Steve, man, it's good to see you.
Whoa, I know it's been a while. We were off for quite a bit. A lot of things bouncing around. I was not feeling too well.
Yeah.
And managed to get out of that not good feeling anymore.
Well, that's great.
Yep. So,
last week, I spent last week dodging tornadoes. And
I know the weather down your way is hellacious.
Flash flood warnings 1 minute, tornado warnings the next minute.
Oh my goodness! So not only did our buddy Methadone for Life, not only did he become a member today, right, but now we just threw in $10.
Oh, wow, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Brother.
Appreciate that. Dang.
So we're going to do our roll call here in a bit. So
lifelong followed us over from Blog Talk Radio. Yeah. We appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yep. Amen.
I got to driving around some, and there's a lot of trees. We didn't get any damage right here at the house. Other than maybe a few limbs blew out, okay? But I've been driving around the certain areas where I go, and there's a few down trees there, but I've not been deep into the research area to where I normally go to see if anything's been messed up in there. But it's been really windy the last week.
Right.
And tornadoes and straight line winds is the main thing.
Oh, those straight line winds can be just as bad as tornadoes.
Yeah. They hit. When they hit, it sounded like something hit the side of the house. The side of the house popped. So it was really strong. I think I did lose maybe a piece of tin off of my pavilion building back there. The little roof structure thing, but that's okay. We'll get that.
Well,
put back
we had a little bit of heavy wind here last week too.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a piece of tin that fell off my tinfoil hat.
That's all right. We don't need that just every now and then when we start getting into the conspiracy.
Anyway, hell of a show for tonight. But it's good to be back. It's good to be feeling great again. I'm just looking and I see Lazy Cowboy is out there. Lazy, you do excellent work on your videos.
Yes,
love
sir.
to get you on the show sometime as well.
Good.
So give me a holler. If you got my email address, you can get it through the link on the contact or through my website or whatever. I'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of your thought process. You do some great work out there. Anyway, let's do our roll call for tonight and get rolling with Fruity Peoples here. Let's get rolling. So first in tonight, we got Methadone for Life. What's up, brother? Thank you again. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the donation. Relic coming in. He will be checking in tomorrow. So hello to you. Mick is in the house. Good old Mick is here. Sharon as well. Larry Sharp.
Larry?
Larry Sharp in the house. Walter Kroll. Hello, Walter.
Good to see you,
Larry. All these members, Larry and Walter and Sharon and Relic, all members. Bigfoot Florida guy. Hey, what's going on? BFFG, good to see you. PH, hello. Roy Longley, hello.
Roy.
Kevin Harder, good to see you. Professor Lazy Cowboy, of course, is in there. welcome. The
Don't
Susie Monster. Hello, Susie Monster. Angel Nolan. And of course, Grant Rasha in the house as well.
Grant.
So, and I saw Jen in there, Sandra Piper. Yeah. And Jen, of course, I'm sure Barron is right next to her. Again, Sandra Piper, Angel Nolan, Brian Wolf from wolfrockradio.com. Check that out. You want to listen some good listening, some good free radio. Check out Brian Wolf over at Wolf Rock Radio. And of course, we got who else?
Great channel.
Grasshopper is in the house. Yeah. Billy, Sasquatch Watch Radio in the house as well.
Hey, Billy, hello. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
And Jean Ann says hello. Hello, Jean Ann. Good to hear from you. Who else we got going on?
Jeannie, where are you at? I am lost. I got lost. I'm sorry.
Billy's Jean Ann. Hello. Bigfoot Society. Yeah, Jeremiah. Enrico Palazzo. That's right. You tell me if this is an official bet. Who else? All right.
Palazzo.
It's Enrico Palazzo. He saved the queen.
Yeah, thanks everybody. And all the lurkers out there. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you.
And Walter, thank you so much.
Walter, man. Gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Walter. Appreciate you, man. What a great guy.
And we're gearing up for the spring. I'm excited about that. I got my first event coming up too as well in just over a month at the Kinderhook Public Library at the Kinderhook Paranormal Expo. And it's going to be me and Bruce Hallenbeck's going to be there as well. So
cool. Yeah.
Author of The Kinderhook Creature and, of course, co-author of Monsters of the Northwoods, the book that got me started into Bigfoot research. So it's like having one of my mentors there as well. So that's really cool. Yeah. It's going to be a really good time. And I think Tactical Bigfoot Research walked in too. And Jay Carey, hello.
Mike, what's going on? Hey, Jay. Tack. Good to see you, man.
Oh, anyway, so I came across this guy in my news feed today, and I was like, number one, anybody that calls themselves the Bigfoot expert, that's an issue right there, and we all know that. Trying to think. If somebody calls me an expert, okay, I understand. But it's not for me to call myself an expert. An expert is a frame of reference. And when you call yourself an expert, that frame of reference means you're above everybody else.
Yeah, that means you've become self-proclaimed.
But so I really think that this guy is punking everybody. And I didn't put that slide in there. That's right.
You got the hat too. You know what I'm saying? The cool hat and the pipe. That's cool.
Hang on.
Oh, now Steve's going to get his expert gear probably.
All right, here we are.
Yes. Oh, there you go. You got to get the cool hat on. And
I don't have a pipe, but I'll use the vape.
You need some shades and a pipe. Oh.
That's right. Oh, hell that.
Oh.
Okay, so anyway. I don't have any funky shades though right now. Now that I think about it, when I was out and about today, I probably should have got some really big, gaudy, big sunglasses to wear.
Well, I stopped wearing sunglasses years ago because I saw a report somewhere that these cheap sunglasses, a lot of them don't have any UV protection. So they're just kind of just a darkened lens. So it opens up the pupil of your eye and allows more damaging rays to come in there and damage your eyes. So I decided, we'll just forget that. I'm not spending $400 on a pair of Ray-Bans. So yeah, I'm not trusting my eyes to a $10 pair of shades either.
Brian is off the chain today.
GoFundMe for shades.
Yeah, he's like, Brian suggesting we're going to GoFundMe for shades for Steve. Yeah, somebody will send me an umbrella.
Dude, I went into, now this has been a couple, but maybe 5 years ago or 6. I went to the mall in Bowling Green, and they had a place in there that had like all sunshades. Like, walk in, I thought, well, maybe I'll get a good deal. No. No, this is for people with a lot more money than me. I'm not going to spend $400 on a pair of glasses. No.
Now, there is a reason why you'll see me start with a hat, sometimes my ball cap, when I take it off, because I got the stadium lights. See, when I do the show, I have to put stadium lights.
Yeah.
So this place doesn't look dark.
Yeah.
I mean, believe it or not, when the stadium lights are off, it's lit enough, but it's not enough light for the camera, especially when we're in 1080.
Yeah.
And now I can feel my head baking under this hat.
Yeah.
Woo! So if you put a thermal up to my head, my head would be, bright here and extra bright right here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's about the only time it's extra bright up here, by the way. Anyway,
well, it's supposed to be like the top of your head is responsible for 80% of the heat transfer from your body. So, that's why it's good to put a hat on in the wintertime when you're slick up top like me. And then in the summertime, you just leave it off. As long as you don't get sunburned, but, that's all right.
So, anyway, what was the post that caught my attention was this one. The Bigfoot expert. Here's a photo of Bigfoot high up in a tree. All right. Zoomed in from a distance from my secret archives. The feds want this photo removed from the internet ASAP.
I love that white Fu Manchu beard he's got going on there. You see that? That's pretty cool. How do they do that?
I just don't know anymore. I don't know.
Wow. Well,
horrible.
I can look at it and you see some good facial detail there, and it's all wrong.
I mean, he's got a hairstyle from the 70s.
Well, I mean, he could probably play in a hair band or something. But that white Fu Manchu beard there, goatee, that's pretty cool. Oh, no, I'm not seeing it. No,
I'm not seeing it at all. But it's from his secret archives, and the government wants it removed ASAP. How does he know that? How does he know that? Oh, and I forgot to add the internet letter too. He's I got to show you this too. Here is, and I completely forgot this because I started the presentation this morning and I got back and I had a few things to do, and I got back from work but let me show you this letter while we're up here. Let me just move a couple of things around.
Well, I kind of have a feeling that if the government wanted your photo removed, they would remove it without your knowledge. So, I don't understand how the government would know about this photo.
So here's this letter that he puts up too one time. Even puts his little the Bigfoot expert on there. Oh. And it says, from Daniel J. Evans, state of Washington. And here is the interesting thing.
Office of the governor. Okay.
Hang on.
Oh, man.
I can't believe how.
Well, I'm going to have to blow this up.
I can't believe how ill-prepared I am tonight.
I want to blow this up so I can read it. So I'm not going to
got my earbuds.
You guys bear with me for a minute because I don't have my reading glasses with me.
All right. I'll read it for you.
Okay, go ahead.
So he puts this up there. Proclamation, designation of state monster. Whereas recent developments have shown Washington state has only one true mysterious monster, the Great Sasquatch, and it is endangered of imminent extinction. And whereas we are the only state which is able to claim Sasquatch as our own, blah, 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 blah. It's just a bullshit letter allegedly signed by Daniel J. Evans, who Daniel J. Evans was the governor of Washington from 1965 to 1977. Right? That's number one. The citation RCW 00.00.000 is a non-existent and invalid legal reference. Real Revised Code of Washington, the RCW citation, always use real statute numbers. This is a placeholder or a deliberate fake reference.
Yeah.
So while the gold seal and formatting mimic official documentation, it's commonly found in novelty prints or souvenirs. There is no legal or archive record indicating this proclamation is genuine.
No.
So another complete fake document on his page. What else? Now, could he be just punking us? Because he actually referenced a Peter Kane video saying, "Oh, this guy is an authentic Sasquatch," and like, no. But we'll get into it. And then he has this, which again to me is another either a carving or an AI or.
Well, when I saw this, I'm thinking it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, but
except the nails don't look real.
Yeah,
because the nails, you got to understand, under fingernails, even look at primate fingernails. Under the fingernails, there are capillaries. It's where all the nerve endings and blood and capillary endings are in your fingers, right? So they would not be the same color technically as necessarily your skin. So look at a gorilla's nails, look at a chimpanzee's nails. They're a different color than, I believe chimpanzees are actually very bright. But anyway, as a former medic, we would often pinch the thumbnails a bit to see if there's what we call capillary reflex, indicative of circulation.
I think they were dark. Chimpanzee nails, but I'm going to look it up, Steve, because now you've got me.
I know gorillas are dark. Maybe chimpanzees when they're young are lighter. I'm not quite sure.
It's been so long, I can't remember. Let's see. Yeah, they're dark. Okay, they're dark. So it's still up there.
Look at it. Look at a baby chimpanzee.
Not the same color. Same color.
Yeah, look at a baby chimpanzee.
Right. Yeah, they're not the same color as the hand, the skin on the hand. No.
Right. Exactly. So there is always some difference.
Yeah.
So, and finally, he's posting this old debunked picture of this gorilla, which was passed around as a Sasquatch for many, many years. And this is a gorilla. I forget. Somebody actually had one of the reference pictures years ago. So
pretty decent. I like where the ears are in the head shape. But since we're looking at a known primate there, it's not surprising. I said I like the way the ears position and the shape of the head. But since we're looking at a known primate, that's good. Yeah.
Yep. So, and then he posts this that, at one point he leaves this post on his, Facebook page for a day or two saying he's missing. Bigfoot expert is missing. Blah, 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 blah. Update. The Bigfoot expert has returned from the deep woods, and
battered, but alive.
Battered, but alive. Yeah. Okay. And he's having a grand old time banning people that are calling him out on his bullshit too. I mean, he's actually attacking people with name calling. I'm not even going to get into it, but because he's not a really nice dealing with people calling him. Of course, the people that have been calling him out haven't been necessarily nice either. But a lot of people have his number, which is a good thing. But there's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people on the channel that are like, oh, yeah, you know, these trolls are unbelievable. They're just jealous. Oh, here we go again with the jealous claims.
There you go.
Yeah. So then we look at his reviews, and there was 4 reviews. 2 called him out for being a complete liar, hoaxer, bullshit artist, whatever you want to say. And then there was 2 other reviews that, first from Pacific Northwest Sasquatch Sightings and Encounter, which says, a true expert regarding all Bigfoot stuff, thumbs up. And of course, the Bigfoot expert gave it, you know, the big heart, you know.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with the Bigfoot Diary, Sightings and Encounters, recommends the Bigfoot expert. He's an expert and has such a valuable information that nobody else knows. Right?
Wow. Yeah.
Let's take a look. So,
never heard of these guys either, but
right. So Pacific Northwest Sasquatch Sightings Encounters lists a website on their page, and it goes to the Bigfoot expert. He wrote his own review.
He's doing his own reviews there, huh? Okay, yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
That's pretty good.
He's such an expert. He needs to do his own. He needs to make up phony reviews.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, well, you know.
So
maybe next time he should think that a little bit better. Think it out a little bit better, you know, at least.
But you know, what's the other one? Bigfoot Diary, Sightings and Encounters. Oh, look, that one goes back to him too.
Oh man, come on. This is too much.
Yeah, and you'll find on both those pages he has some pictures that he uses on the Bigfoot expert page as well.
Oh.
So there he is giving himself, you know, reviews, probably to get more stars, because when you get 2 shitty reviews, you better do something to, you know, up the score.
Well, you know, when people don't like your work, maybe it's time to do something different rather than trying to create
or
fake reviews.
Do better.
Yeah.
Do better.
Yeah.
How about that? Just try to do better.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But I would like to know more about where, you know, he was like missing. You know, what happened? Did he get lost in the woods? Because
well, my guess is he was fixing a lawnmower.
hurt himself, and then
Oh no, there's a reason why I say he's probably fixing a lawnmower.
Fruity Peebles, sweetened rice cereal with natural. Oh, this guy's name is Peebles, right?
Huh?
Instead of Fruity Pebbles. Oh man.
That is awesome. So Tristan, I gotta pull this up. Tristan just messaged me on
Got no gas in it.
we gotta save this one. Hang on.
Oh man, sorry, excuse me. I'll try to mute out. I'm sorry guys, I've been sneezing and coughing. Hadn't been muting out. My bad. Try not to be rude.
Hang on a second. Now you got me doing it. So let's see. I think you all appreciate this. Is that it?
Okay.
No, that's not it. Where the hell are they? I got so much on this dang computer that.
Well, there's a lot of people using AI to create Bigfoot stuff now, and some of it is pretty funny, you know. But a lot of times, if it's something really close up, I think some of the AI problem with showing instead of 5 feet, has 6 fingers. You know, and I created some when I did that video for what was it? The David Turner incident. I created some AI cartoon images, and I think they had like 6 fingers in them, so they had it instead of the 5. But that's why I thought that one picture of the hand was really cool, but because it had 5 fingers.
So apparently, Tristan did this. I appreciate this. We're going to end up using this somewhere, I'm sure, down the road. But here it is. My own action figure package.
You can have you're gonna be a little doll.
I see. I got my own little plaster cast. I got my digital recorder. I got my camcorder all ready to go. That is awesome, Tristan. Thank you, man.
Steve Kulls, the action figure. If I get one, I want a little engine in there too.
I know at least a few people will buy them just so they can blow them up with like an M80. You know, I'll fix that, Kulls. I'm gonna put the M80 next to him and never did that as a kid.
Poke needles in it. Be used as a voodoo doll.
Yeah, well, it's really hard to make a voodoo doll out of me because you got to pluck a strand of hair. You know, you got to have some, right? And you can't find any hair off of this thing. You're going to have to pull it off my chin or my back.
Oh, God.
Oh, we are salty tonight, folks.
Walter, can I get the action van too? I want if he has if we could do one that has the Kung Fu grip. Remember that? The G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip? They could do like this.
Those middling kids.
Oh, man.
Kind of looks like I'm ready to puke there a bit.
Let's say, Mick says, Chris, I tried to create sexy Sasquatch with various AI tools, but it contravenes all the rules, so they never make the image. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times you just start, and some of the things you type in, like you want an image, like create me an image of, a Civil War soldier and a Bigfoot, and it's like, oh no, this subject is forbidden. We can't do like what?
Hey, Bigfoot Florida guy says his best friends are Ken and Barbie. Yeah. Well, actually, the disturbing thing is that they're actually coming out with a new Barbie doll. It's called the Divorce Barbie. I'm serious. They're coming out with a Divorce Barbie doll.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it comes with all Ken shit.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's terrible.
Yeah, terribly funny.
Oh, yeah. Steve, do you get a flamethrower with yours? That'd be good. Oh, that would be terrible.
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah. There's a Barbie doll that comes out with a very short person, a little person doll next to it. They call it Shrimp on the Barbie.
Oh no! Oh, that's terrible. But, as a kid growing up, I saw them on TV, but I never had the G.I. Joe. And, I saw the Kung Fu grip. Okay. I saw that on Saturday mornings because that was the only time you could watch cartoons back in the dark ages. And, but I did have a doll though. I had one. It was called Johnny West, and he was a little cowboy dude, and he had a horse, and you could put the saddle on the horse, and you could put his cowboy hat and his chaps and stuff on there. He was really cool. That lasted about 6 months.
Jen says Steve seems to come with a gifting bowl and a new iPhone.
That's good. That's good.
Oh,
Kaiju Ninja asked if I wanted one. No, man. Thanks.
That's right. It's not a doll. It's an action figure.
No, nobody's gonna want one of me, honey. Thank you, though. Thank you. Yeah, mine would have to come with the little go-kart race engine or something, like accessories.
Yeah, they tested one for Biscardi too, but it they couldn't fit 5 pounds of bullshit in the package.
Oh no. Oh, Matt says I had a $6 million man. You had to look
Yes.
through the back of the head to use the bionic eye. Oh no, I never had that, man.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I think my friend had that one. I had the old GI Joe. You know, one with the beard.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a kung fu grip, but he had a beard. And I had an old Robbie the Robot.
Oh wow, yeah, those are cool. I never had.
And I remember it used to come out in the little. And this is what I'm told. I was about 3 years old, and my parents got me the Robbie the Robot, and it would walk, teet, 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 and it would stop, and the chest would open up, and these little guns would come out, pew, 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 right? Right.
Oh,
and when my parents rounded up, put it in front of me, I looked at it, and when the chest opened up, started firing me, I screamed.
Oh no! Oh no! Guard for life.
So I don't like robots. They're creepy, man. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this guy, I don't know. And getting back to this dude, I don't know if he's just punking everybody but he's a hoaxer. He's punking everybody. And if he's doing a lot of videos with all these sounds and stuff. So, claiming they're Bigfoot. Yeah, he's a hoaxer. But the purpose behind this hoaxing, I don't know if he's just trying to get a rise. But I will say this, on his YouTube channel, he does have a section for PayPal donations. So to me, it's a little more than just joking.
Yeah.
Guess what? Peter Kane doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's hard to see, figure out what the motivation is. I could see, he's got this persona, this image he's portraying here, and with the pipe and the hat, that's okay. But to me, that's not him.
Let's see.
But it could be a character that he's created. People do that. And some people have their little, I don't know what you'd call it, a stick or whatever they wear things. Huh.
Yeah, I just, I'm sorry. I was getting a headache looking at all his stuff. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and John's in the house. Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks. Hello,
John. Welcome, bud.
Yeah, thanks, Chris, for giving people the idea to use my action figure as a voodoo doll.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, for me, there's only one Bigfoot researcher that looks good with a pipe, and that's Thomas Steenberg. He is the man with the pipe, and that's just it. Anybody else that try to use it, or they're trying to rip off his image.
Right. Anybody that's trying to use a vape, that's ripping off mine.
Thomas makes it work. Okay, he makes it work. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that can.
Probably. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it, Mick. Probably gets along with him well. This guy, is he from the United States or is he from Canada? Does it say?
He is from Washington State. In fact, he doesn't live too far from the Gifford Pinchot National Forest.
Oh, he's got a good area. That's a great research area.
Which is where a lot of his videos are coming from. But how far he goes in, I don't know. Very true. This guy's the Timu of Sasquatch researchers.
Oh, that's a sad subject. I'm gonna. I miss ordering my junk from Timu, man.
Why'd you stop?
Well, I'm not going to be ordering that stuff anymore. But I got a welder, a couple of weeks ago. It was about the size of this box here. Okay. And, it's an arc welder. And I thought, it was cheap. And I thought, I'm going to buy this and we'll see what it does. I'll be dang. It's a welder. It is. Yeah.
It works, huh?
Yeah. For now.
Well, I got a radar detector.
Yeah.
Timu. Okay. And the only problem is it goes off every flipping exit.
Well, there you go. Well, that's going to protect you.
Oh, yeah. I see the cops occasionally. But a lot of times I don't see anybody.
If it's going off the whole time, you're going to be driving the speed limit, so it works. Beep, 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 beep. Well, slow down. I don't see nobody.
I also tried a dash cam that you stick to the glass. Yeah. And you put it up there, and about a week later, it just on the floor. Then you put it up 3 days later, on the floor.
Oh.
So it's like, garbage.
Well, some places, you can't have anything stuck on the windshield anyway. I got pulled over in Arizona back in when I first got the Hummer, 2018 or 2019, I can't remember. But anyway, we went out to see the Grand Canyon, and I had, instead of my phone, I had a GPS with a suction cup stuck on the windshield down there in the middle, close to the dash, wasn't in my way. And we got pulled over. And the cop said, yeah, you can't have that on your windshield. So why not? Because it said nothing can be on the windshield. And I said, well, it's got a rearview mirror on the windshield.
my inspection sticker and my registration is on the windshield.
It's got a rearview mirror on the windshield,
And my Easy Pass is on the windshield. By the way, that's government issued, and they tell you to put it on your windshield.
Yeah. But that wasn't the real deal, though. What it was when I had bought the car. I think I'd registered it on Friday evening, and they gave me a new plate, and so it really wasn't in the system yet. And then when a few days later, when I got out there to Arizona, they probably didn't. It wasn't in the nationwide system yet, so he ran my plate number and couldn't come back with anything. So he wanted to pull me over and check.
Yeah,
but these things happen. It wasn't a fine. I mean, it was just a courtesy ticket, courtesy notice. Didn't cost me anything. But okay. So I took the thing off the windshield, and then as soon as we crossed over back into New Mexico, stuck her back on.
Good reason to stay out of it. I mean, remember the good old days where you used to have Garmins that they stuck to the windows?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Go after people that have a Garmin stuck to the window? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I can't remember. I think mine's a TomTom or something. I can't remember. But yeah. But I think he just wanted to pull us over and check us out. Of course, my wife, she's not Caucasian looking, so
you got an out-of-state plate. That's why.
Yeah. But I'm sure they probably want.
And you got to understand, Arizona is like one of the biggest drug trafficking states in the country. They, a lot of people hit the Mexican border.
Yeah.
From out of state, and then they come up, and that's the reason, probably more the reason why they wanted to check you out. And if you didn't ask to search your car or anything like that, then chances are that you've already passed that inspection the minute he said, "Oh, I just want to talk to you about that being stuck to your windshield."
Yeah. But, it doesn't matter. If I get pulled over, especially if I don't think I've done anything wrong, I get nervous. And everybody gets nervous. But I just don't like being pulled over in the first place. Now, if I'm speeding or something, I'm running 75 and a 70 or something like that, and they pull me over, yeah, okay. All right, that's understandable. I'm frustrated, but mainly frustrated at myself. But don't get me wrong, I'm not going to avoid Arizona because of that. We'll go back if I'm, knock on wood, if I'm still here in a few years, we'll go back to the Grand Canyon and check it out when we have a little bit longer to stay.
Yep. Now, yes, dash cams are legal in all 50 states. However, how you mount them, apparently in Arizona, is you can't affix them to the windshield.
Yeah.
And in Virginia, you can't have a radar detector.
Yeah. Well, the thing I couldn't understand is if nothing is allowed to be on the windshield, and the rear view mirrors are mounted on the windshield. So, hey, that's something on the windshield.
Nah.
From the factory.
Stupid is what it is.
Well, that's okay. But nothing against Arizona. I love you guys too.
Well, like Massachusetts and Vermont, your car will fail inspection if it has bigger than a dime-sized rust spot on it.
Yeah.
You know why? Well, we don't want any rusty cars on our road.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if I have a 1-inch round rust spot on my fender, it doesn't pass inspection because it's unsafe? What a crock.
Yeah.
What a crock. Now, if your frame was rusted, whole nother difference. But
well, that's the thing. Not everybody can go buy a new car at the first spot of rust that pops up on theirs. It's ridiculous. Now, not too long ago, when a new car was $6,000, sure, you could go get a new car every 3 to 5 years if you wanted one. But now when they're $60,000. I mean, no. No.
Have they seen some of the cars on the road in Alabama?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, see, the thing is, in the South, they don't really rust out really bad, unless you get to Florida where they got the salt water. Okay, but around Ohio and Indiana, they really salt the roads heavily in the wintertime, and so man, there's a lot of rust buckets you can see. And some of those come down to Kentucky, end up on used car lots, and you look up underneath them and like, God, man, the frames are gone. It's like just little crusty stuff. The rust is holding hands to keep the frame together. Didn't used to be that way. I mean, my uncle's got a 67 Chevy truck. Now, used to belong to my mother, but she gave it to him. It was my grandfather's truck. He bought it brand new. And, that thing never did have a spot of rust on it anywhere. 1967. Chevy pickup. Chevrolet.
Or how about those cars that their air conditioners die? So what they do is they put a wooden plank in their car window and put an air conditioner in there.
I've seen that. Yeah. Now that's something you'll see in the South. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Grasshopper said rust is required on all used vehicles in New England.
Yeah.
Oh, Mick says, just strap a mattress on your back, go out at midnight and hustle, you get I don't think so, Mick. I would probably starve to death. But if the price of cars comes down, I'll buy one every 3 to 5 years. No big deal. But I do remember in 1977, Mom and Dad bought a Ford Thunderbird. It was a 78 Ford Thunderbird, got the new model, and it was $6,000 even. $6,000. Now, at that time, that was considered, kind of a luxury car. Okay. And in 1984, when I was working at the dealership in Glasgow, it was Goodman Oldsmobile, Cadillac, Nissan. And you could buy a brand new Nissan Sentra for $5,400. $5,400. But even at that time, though, the Cadillacs, like a Sedan DeVille or a Eldorado, something like that, they were around 24,000 then. 1984. Wow, that's a long time ago.
Well, prices go up. I mean, back in the '60s, a brand new car would cost like $2,000 to $3,000.
Yeah.
So inflation, of course, the average person, I think, in the '60s was making like 50 cents an hour.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it depends.
No, it depends on things old people wear.
Right.
But hopefully I won't be wearing them in another 5 years. Anyway, anyway,
my dad, I can remember him talking when him and my mom first got married. He worked carrying a milk truck, and he would carry these load these cans of milk onto the truck and then unload them. And he got paid $2 a day.
Wow.
$2 a day.
But like when I first started working, minimum wage was $3.35 an hour.
Yeah. But now Dad told me, I said, my God, how could you survive on $2 a day? And he said, oh, well, you could go get a carload of groceries for $3.
But I remember being in the grocery store and pricing like butter, which was a 4-pack of butter was like $1.59.
Yeah.
Milk was $2.12 a gallon.
Yeah.
Half gallon milk was $1 and change. A quart of milk was less than $1. So everything, and people think, that, just from a pure economic state, raising the minimum wage, all it does is raise the prices because everything moves up incrementally. Right. You raise the wage, it's going to raise the prices. And then people say, oh, I'm not making enough. They raise, inflation is not it's caused by raising everything. It's not only caused by external forces, it's caused by internal forces as well. And if inflation happens and you decide, well, let's raise the minimum wage to catch up to inflation,
right?
That's only a temporary thing, and things come back up. And
well, in '84, when you could buy the little Nissan Sentra for $5,400, I was making $3.35 an hour. That was minimum wage at the dealership. So, the only way that I got paid like $7 or $8 an hour was if I made what they called commission.
Right.
Which, if you had like over 30 or 40, I can't remember how many, it was a certain amount of hours of labor log time, like on jobs you've done, then you made like $7 or $8 per hour. But if not, you made minimum wage.
But I remember the starting at the time, the starting pay for a sheriff's deputy or a police officer was about $24,000 a year, which was good money back then.
Right.
That $24,000 is probably the equivalent to like $46,000 or $48,000 today, at least.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing how things change. And I remember when bread was a nickel. Remember our pops used to tell us that all the time. Yeah. Okay, Pop. Everything was a nickel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Butter was a nickel. Yeah,
Mom
that quart of milk was a nickel.
Yeah.
That car was a nickel.
Oh man.
But
it hasn't been that long since gasoline was always below $1 a gallon.
Okay, so not to get political,
Go ahead.
Paying their fair share to whom? How does anybody paying extra money to the government do us any good? It doesn't. I'll give you a great example. Our attorney general, right? They're supposed to be You know, your attorney general, the state attorney general, you file a complaint against a dealership or whatever, a business, and they go after that business and they fine them $25,000. Guess what? You don't get that $25,000. The government does. You're still stuck. So don't hand me about the fair share. All that does is go to some tax program that we will never see. So stop that bullshit. Fair share.
Oh,
I pay my fair share too. Where does it go? Right, Rufus?
No politics. Taxes is politics.
Right.
No politics.
Sorry.
Yeah, Grasshopper says his first job was $1 something an hour and gas was $29.9. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
gas was like 69 or 75 cents a gallon.
Oh.
Or a buck a gallon. I remember, oh yeah, $10 or $20 and I am good to go.
Hey, I can remember when it was $39.9 because I had like
No, you're good, you.
I would get up, no joke. I had a Yamaha 80 motorcycle and it held a little over a gallon of gas in the tank. And I would ride that thing on reserve, I mean on air, okay, to the gas station because I had like 35 cents in change. And I would put in 35 cents worth of gas.
Poor you was apologizing. No, I'm fine. I wasn't mad. I was actually having fun with that.
Yeah.
Remember, folks, out there, there's only one person that's going to watch out for number one. And you know who that is? Number one. Remember that. Damn it.
But, I would fill up my little Yamaha 80 gas tank for 35 cents and ride all day, dude, until the next day. When I start running out of juice, I would head back to the house, and the next day do it all over again, scrounge up 35 cents. Or if Dad wasn't looking, I would drain the lawnmower gas or something. I was going to ride that little bike, and I did. I rode that thing a million. Well, I can't say that. I didn't ride it a million miles, but I wrote it.
There's Chris, let me just make this quick statement too. There's a reason why we don't do politics on this channel.
Yeah.
Because politics gives us all heartburn.
Yeah.
And everybody gets it. Doesn't matter left, right, center, middle, up, down, left. It doesn't matter. Everybody gets the heartburn when you start talking politics. So I'd rather talk about something else.
That's
right. If Bigfoot went to a hairstylist, what would he look like if he got a permanent?
That's right. Politics ruins everything. I couldn't agree more. And we're not here to get political. Never.
That and religion. Start talking religion, that ruins everything too.
Yeah. Religion and politics. Not here to make enemies out of nobody.
Right.
And I don't care how Steve votes. I may not agree with him.
Then again, he may agree with me.
Then I may agree with him, but
because only Chris and I know how we vote.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The Church of Bigfoot, Grant. Oh man.
Yeah, instead of ringing the church bell, they knock the tree.
Well, the guy that's doing the Zorth and the 13 or 12, whatever. Isn't that kind of like a church thing?
Did you see that?
What's you just go over? Walter. You're killing me, man.
Okay. For those who are listening to the audio of this, this is Steve. Do you think Bigfoot ages? Does he do the comb over?
I can't stand that. No. That's terrible, but it's a great question. It is.
Oh yeah, he goes from about the middle of the back up.
Well, it does bring up the question: is are there does Bigfoot have recessive hairline thing? the gene for losing their hair, male pattern baldness. I don't think so. I don't know. I've never heard a report of a bald Bigfoot. You know, that's something. Have you ever read a report, Steve, about a Bigfoot creature with no hair on top of its head? A male pattern baldness Bigfoot.
I'm sorry, that whole thing just got me really good. I, I have no idea. You know, I'm gonna have to run that through AI.
I've never heard a report.
Primates get pattern baldness other than stupid Homo sapiens.
Yeah. Well, that would be the thing, especially with some of the theories out. Yeah.
That's right.
And somehow they have access to hair dye to make.
We know that they have the Fu Manchu going.
Yeah. And they can dye it white some way.
Well, yes, no, they actually a lot of times they will get it back to reddish brown or brown. All they do is they put a little just for Sasquatch on it.
Yeah. Just for Sasquatch instead of just for men. Yeah. But that's an interesting question about the baldness thing, because there are researchers, Melba Ketchum, who believes that Bigfoot is a product of a hybridization between females, humans, and male Sasquatch. And if that's true, the female carries the gene for male pattern baldness that appears in men. So if...
Wait a minute. Oh, whoa.
Yes.
How the hell is that explaining? Everybody on my mom's side had a full head of hair.
The female side carries the gene for male pattern baldness. Yes.
Why did I get all the shitty genes?
I don't know. But see, that would be the thing.
Got the diabetes gene.
Got
the high blood pressure gene from my father.
If her theory is correct, then that would cross over and we would have Sasquatch reported with male pattern baldness.
You know what? We're gonna put this right to an end right now. Let's
Walter said bald Bigfoots are nicknamed Kojak. I remember that show, Walter. Kojak. Who loves you, baby? Lollipop dude. Yeah, he'd pop that lollipop in his mouth. Who loves you, baby? Telly Savalas. Yeah. What an actor. What a guy. Tell him Telly sent you. Yeah. Let's see.
There is no known wild or captive non-human primate, chimpanzees, gorillas, or orangutans, have been observed to exhibit male pattern baldness in the same form or frequency as humans. Hair loss does occur in non-human primates, but it's usually diffuse or patchy, not patterned. Causes include aging, hormonal imbalances, parasites, stress, disease, or environmental conditions. In some older male chimpanzees or bonobos, frontal hair recession has been noted, but this is not a genetically programmed pattern like the human MPB gene.
Right. Well, Sasquatch Wizard.
You know what? Screw you, other primates.
Scott Carpenter filmed, then did his thing and created a picture of said Sasquatch that appeared to look bluish gray in color. And if it's a living being, it didn't look like it had hair. Well, that's interesting.
Well, let me make a comment to that. Many years ago, there was a state trooper, a Pennsylvania state trooper.
All right.
and I actually met the investigator who interviewed him. He actually was a good friend of his. In fact, I think he may have been with him when this happened. Excuse me. And they were on horseback, and all of a sudden, running in front of him and stopping was a 5.5, 6 foot tall young Sasquatch, and he described it as being a bluish gray in color, almost like a blue-haired old lady.
Right.
So it's not necessarily outside the realm of. So that has been heard before. Now, I don't know if Scott Carpenter was feeding off of that old report. I don't know, but just so you know, it's not unheard of for a Sasquatch to be a variant of a white color or a bluish color, because the bluish is actually just a tinting issue with the white hair. That's why you get the blue-haired old ladies, whatever. It's the way the pigmentation kind of falls optically inside the hair follicle, I suppose.
A lot of the reports over in eastern Kentucky listed the creature as being white. And the one here in central Kentucky was listed as being white by, oh gosh, I can't think of his name. Well, anyway, my neighbors over at Seymour, Kentucky.
And yes, Scott Carpenter was the same. They used to have a severe case of pareidolia. Absolutely. Yeah. Scott Carpenter passed away. So,
well, rest his soul. Don't want to talk bad about the dead, but he had his own views. And
so anyway, Chris, it is 10:03. It's time to get us out of here.
Oh, wow. That went fast.
How quick the time goes.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We appreciate you.
Yeah, and to follow up on that, it's always a shame when we lose, Hey, listen, I may not agree philosophically with Scott Carpenter, nor would I MK Davis, nor do I MK Davis, but I don't wish them ill, and I do wish them good health. And unfortunately, Scott passed away, and it is, kind of sad that he passed away. I don't wish that or a young death on anybody.
No,
not at all.
Everybody needs a good long life, as long as possible. You only get one here, so why not?
Scott Carpenter was not a mean man by any stretch. He was a nice guy, So obviously, his death was a loss. Whether you believe that or not, the one thing we all have in common is that we do believe Sasquatch exists, and we're all trying in some form or another to prove it exists. So,
well, Seymour, Kentucky had to be better than reading Plum Bottoms by Seymour Butts. Okay.
Yeah, well, Seymour Butts, he had a writing pseudonym also. Yeah, it was called Bend Over. Anyway.
But thank you guys for hanging out with us on Friday night. We appreciate you. And I think, I don't remember seeing any new names in there, but if anybody new, okay. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and smash the thumbs up on your way out if you hadn't already. That'll help us with our daily battle against the old algorithm. But thank you guys. We appreciate you. You're the best audience we could ever hope to have. And we know that this is only possible because of you. And thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, folks, again, thank you for excusing my absence for the last week or so. Will needed rest, needed to recharge the battery cells in this head of mine as well. Get feeling a little bit better. If y'all notice, I'm vaping, back to vaping, which has done a lot for making me feel a lot better. This weather has been hell. Huh?
Less coughing tonight.
Much less coughing. Yep. So anyway, and I know that when I vape, that takes care of that, and I feel a lot better too. So, I don't wake up with that hack, and it's just there's a bunch of things that have been going on. So, but none necessarily to the negative necessarily.
Yeah.
But
children, if you don't smoke now, don't start.
Well, no, I wasn't even talking about smoking, but behind the scenes, a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on that that nothing bad, just nail biting, anxiousness, and sometimes not getting always the best news as things progress, but then reassessing and saying, oh, well, maybe that isn't bad news. So, long story, maybe someday that'll come out. But anyway, we have the best audience in the world. We love you guys, and we'll see you all here Sunday night, just a couple of days. So enjoy, you guys. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon. We'll see you on the end of the weekend. We'll catch you all Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on Squatch-D TV.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member, and it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.